Tasha.
Hello.
And we are ALTKnits. And we are a knitting podcast. That's our first run, so forgive us here. But we thought we'd just knit with you guys. We like to knit together, so we thought we'd include some more folks. So here we are, knitting on a podcast. It's a little awkward sometimes, but we're going to get through that. We're going to get through it together, right?
Right.
That's what they say. All right. So how'd you start knitting, Nana?
I've been knitting for 34 years, but the last 15, probably the most dedicated knitter. My first knitting project was an Intarsia baby sweater because I didn't know any better that you were supposed to knit Intarsia as your first project. This year I am going to do the Year of the Sweater.
Nice.
And you?
I learned to knit when I was in college, so that was like 20 some odd years ago. I think. Yes, 20 years ago. And then when I met my husband, his mother, Kim, taught me the things that I didn't learn from my grandmother. So I've probably been knitting consistently probably about 15, 16 years. And I normally knit small things like socks, hats, but I'm trying to become a garment knitter. It's tough. I have a lot of issues. I get pattern paralysis, and then I get color paralysis, and then I have to bug these girls and be like, oh my god, what am I going to do? They're probably like, you're crazy, but that's fine. But I'm also doing a Year of Hats this year. The free Year of Hats with Kelburn Woolens. They're all free on Ravelry, and so that's my goal for the year. More garments and hats. Tasha, what do you got?
Let's see. I learned to knit when I was 9. My grandmother taught me to keep me busy, so that would be 28 years ago. Good gracious. I know. My 20-year anniversary is the high school reunions next year, and I was like, I don't want to go because if I go, it's real.
Ours done fast.
But so I quit knitting after that. I knit while I was there that summer, and then I was a kid, so I went home and found better things to do. And then I came back to it in college when I was 18 or 19. I went to Oklahoma State, and my whole family lived in New York, so I was pretty homesick, pretty far. And for whatever reason, that just stuck to me as something that was familiar, something that could keep me busy. And I haven't stopped since. But like you, definitely a sock knitter. My first project that I finished, I started half a scarf. Because all new knitters start with scarves, and nobody should. Like, if you're out there giving that advice to people, stop. You're the problem.
True that.
So
Dishcloths
are the way to go. Because even if you're screwed up, like, you can wash your butt with a failed project. It does not matter. Dishes don't care. But so yeah, I ditched the scarf and I wanted a sock. And exactly like you said, Netta, like, you don't know what you don't know. I had no idea that I had no business knitting a sock. So I knit one. And like, neither one of them were the same size, and they were, you know, not sock yarn. It was just fingering weight yarn, so they felt it when I washed them.
Whoopsie.
But after that, I just stayed on socks. I didn't really start knitting garments until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I had a couple half starts, but like, my knitting nickname should be 90%. I got like 90% through the project, and then I don't want to do it anymore. And that was the real reason I didn't knit a lot of garments, because if you're doing that with socks, like, you knit 90% of one skein, and that's okay. But like, I've got some 90% like Madeline Tosh fingering weight that's been tied up for 12 years.
Oh gosh.
So I do need to finish that. This is the year, like, definitely a garment year. Like y'all said, I feel the call to sweaters. But really, to finish those old whips. I don't feel guilt about how many whips I have. I'm ready to get those needles back and be done with it, and make it seem to you guys like I'm faster than I am. Like, and be like, look, a sweater. It took me 15 years. Look, a sweater.
I'm a fairly monogamous knitter. Like, I don't typically have a bunch of projects on the needles.
Mm-hmm.
Here lately, that is not the case. I always have a sock. I always have what I call a carry-around sock, because it goes with me everywhere I go,
Yep.
and you can always knit on it.
Yeah.
Work, going slow, on the way places, when you're waiting in line, you're waiting at the doctor's office, all those places. Great for knitting. In the pickup line at school, all those things. But I have a shawl as a whip, and I've got all kinds of things, and I kind of don't know who I am right now, because that's not me.
Is it us? Is it our fault? Is it me and Netta?
It's
Because
my fault.
we're so like, do it.
It might be.
I'm like a 10 or 12 whips person.
I think it's all your fault, but I'm not mad about it.
Like a 10 to 12 active whip person. There's also like...
Do you have like 6?
Do you have tiers of whips? Like,
Yes.
there's the ones that I am working on.
Yes.
There's the ones that, like, I meant well, but it's pissed me off somewhere along the way. Like I did it. It's me.
Yeah.
But it's in timeout.
Those, because I rip those out. No, those get ripped out.
I've got some in timeout. And then I've got some that just, like, I keep looking at them and I keep thinking I should frog them, but I don't want to for whatever reason, because I do want the product, but I don't want to knit it.
I have the
Sometimes I
long-term
get that.
ones that get a couple rows a month done on them. Then I have the sitting at the bottom of the project big basket that get a little bit of work. And then I have like the 4 maybe that get work all the time. And I have them for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a carry-around project.
Mm-hmm.
I have things I can only knit on the days. I only knit on the days my granddaughters are there because I can put it down quickly, and
Don't need a pattern.
I won't be a mistake. I won't make huge mistakes. But yeah, I like to have lots of patterns on the go.
I've
Lots
got
of
some so
projects.
old. I've moved 3 or 4 times with them in their project.
Like, do you like them still? Like,
Yeah, like the Madeline Tosh, the Austin hoodie. I really do want it, and I don't.
okay.
I don't know what happened there. And the other thing is, some of those are so old. They're from my army days, and I am not in my army shape, so I'm a little worried when I go back to finish them.
Will they fit Abby?
Yes.
Well,
That's not giving her a reason to finish it though.
I mean, you wouldn't have to rip it out, or you wouldn't have to, like, take
Yes,
back.
and she is noteworthy. It's just.
But
Wouldn't that almost be worse that I finished the sweater and then I just watched somebody else wearing it around me? Like,
I don't know about that. I don't really feel that way.
I don't know. I think you need to fiercely frog.
well,
Boldly go. Just
can I block 40 more pounds into it is the question.
I mean, maybe.
It's a cardigan.
Oh,
It is a cardigan.
It doesn't have to button it.
Cardigan's good for at least 20 pounds. Those are the
You don't have
rules.
to button it.
The safety size. It's like, it's okay. Let's let it block right out.
Yeah, it's a hooded
Goodness.
vertebra sweater.
But will you like it then? Maybe
Oh my goodness.
Oops. So, Netta, what are you working on right now? That's your travel project?
Yeah, this is my Muscle Burrow Hat by Isabelle in Shirley Bryan's Fade sock yarn, and it is Whiskey in a Teacup. I really wanted the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the peach, so it will be on the inside.
I love the peach.
But it looks really pretty with those colors.
So
I feel like the
it's
peach
on a
makes it.
size 2 needle, and I just want to get it finished this week.
It's a super long fade. That's the nature of her yarn, right?
Right. And I've started the second skein.
So does it, from here on out, will it stay blue and bluish greenish?
Yes, because the teal, see, it's 250-gram skeins, and then that peach won't see.
Because it's
the
back
end
in the
of
middle
this.
and you won't make it.
I
to that.
think you'll be done with it before
I
you
do
get
too.
to it.
I do too. But I just really wanted the blue around my face, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good blue.
Yep. So hopefully it'll be done this week. And I can cast on another sweater and another travel project.
There you go. Perfect.
Do you want to go ahead and talk about the whips you have going on besides your hat?
Oh, I can. I have. Oh, and nobody's knitting on it right now.
No.
We are on knitting the Garter Marlar cardigan.
Gotta say it nice and slow.
Yeah, I know. And so this is mine. It's all scrap yarns.
Oh, so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I love this line.
I have.
You know, it's the hot pink one for me.
I'm not very far into it, but it's also what I knit when my granddaughters are at the house.
Right.
My granddaughters are 3 weeks, 2 years, 3 years, and 5. So, obviously, I really can't knit anything that takes thought while they're there.
No brioche.
No. So that's that one, and the other one that I have
that was
is
quiet.
just socks for my granddaughters. So I have 2 pairs of socks in here.
What kind of yarn are you using for them?
Lindsay, what are these yarns? Because they're from you.
Pop quiz.
This is an ancient yarn that I got, I believe, at Rhinebeck 100 years ago. I have no idea what it is. It's some sort of sparkly, cute yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 13th Doctor.
From Desert Vista Dye
From
Works.
Desert Vista Dye Works.
Yeah. So that's...
I don't keep my ball bands very well.
Oh, and this is in, like, the new bag
That is a cool
from
bag.
the Scrappy Angel, which makes a tray as you knit.
That is so
I like that it
cute.
folds up.
I love it. And then it folds into a triangle.
I
How
think
cool
that
is that?
is so perfect for your travel knitting too. Like, mm-hmm.
So I love it.
That is adorable.
That's all I brought with me.
All right,
Okay.
Lindsay, whip it good.
Right? So I have my carry around sock. It's a sock for my dad, and it's just a regular vanilla 64 stitch sock on a size 1.5, which is what I knit pretty much everything on. And I'm doing the fish lips kiss heel.
What's
So
the sock yarn?
it is simply Sock Yarns Splash Sock, and I'm not sure what color it is because I got it from Annetta.
I don't
She
think
gifted
they
it.
had colorways on it.
I
It
don't
was
think
part of their sock club.
Yeah, it was like
Do they do
it began with a
numbers?
9. Yeah, it was like I
We're
wrote
like,
it down.
oh yeah, color 7601, my favorite.
I think it was like 9220 or something like it had a 9 and some 2s in it.
Find that on a Crayola.
Right? And I did put it in my show note information, so I mean if you want to find that particular color, I'm sure she would help you.
I think it's.
I think we need to make a trip up there myself, but
I do too.
that would be a heck of a fun trip.
My husband would love to go because Sweetwater, the music store, is also in Fort Wayne. So I told him, I was like, we should go. And like, however much you spend in there.
Perfect!
Get
I
you a
think it's
Gibson.
Perfect idea.
Treat yourself.
All right,
babe.
so I too am doing, like Annetta said, we are all doing the Garter Marlar cardigan. And so here is mine. I was afraid I was going to run out of yarn on for the arms. So I went ahead and knit them to make sure I had enough. And I did not change colors because the thought of it caused me so much anxiety that I would put together colors that looked like clown bark that I was like, And so I didn't change them. So I am knitting it with currently, I don't believe she's dyeing anymore. It is Good For You and Sultry Sock, and it has, so it's got a little bit of a halo. It's got some wool and llama, I think, llama
Ooh.
and nylon in it. So it's a little hairy. I mean, you can't really tell too awful bad, and I'm just going to blame the little dog hairs on the llama.
It's just got that cozy.
We're just
fuzz.
going to go with that. And then I used Malabrigo Arroyo on the collar and the cuffs, and hopefully on the bottom band and the button band, but time will tell. And the pink, this gorgeous pink, is what we have named the Unloved Pink from Hack Yarn Co. Soon to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's fabulous. It has beautiful little orange bits and some little purple bits and pink bits and all kinds of fabulous bits in it. So I'm really enjoying that knit. It's easy to just knit. So it's heavy, but it feels like it's going faster than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm on the body and I'm kind of like, ooh, it's taking forever. But once I get to the body and the ribbing, then I just have button bands, so I'm almost there. And then my shawl that I'm working on is the Batad, B-A-T-A-D, I'm not sure how to say it, by Stephen West.
Oh, I forgot
I
how
started
good
this,
was.
I started back in like February, but I haven't done a whole lot with it. So I'm using, actually, I'm not sure what that one is.
The blue or the green?
The green, I think, is a Slip Stitch Studio, and it's not No Big Deal. Yes, it is No Big Deal. So it's like a pickly color.
Mm-hmm.
I love pickles. And then, side note, Queen City Yarn Slate in the Noda sock, which I thought they would look cute together.
They
and
do.
I really think this will be really cute once I get it done. It'll be kind of like this, where it I don't know if you guys seen the picture. It like is gathered up here with the welts, and then it opens because you'll have more stitches. So it like opens so you can wear it.
So it's got a lot of structure
fancy
to
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but you can also then wear it all bunched up around your neck too. But I'm excited to get that done. The welts take a little bit. I will say. I did finally figure out how to do them properly without making them look really terrible. And it takes a little bit longer because you can't just rush. I could not rush through it. I'm sure somebody can, but
I'm curious how
that's
one
not me.
blocks welts.
Carefully, maybe. I don't know.
We knit them on a Project by Shanneline's design.
We did.
You just can't.
I don't think
You can't aggressively block.
Right.
because you're knitting down. So like you're basically taking the fabric and like folding it back on itself. So you're
Yeah.
kind of knitting it together. So it
They
kind of
stay
makes it.
raised up,
Yeah, they
yeah.
stay.
I knit some kind of Stephen West that had welts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure whatever that project was is in the 90% pile, so we definitely didn't reach the
Well, we can
blocking
find it again. We'll find it again. It's okay.
Oh, the
Just because 90% doesn't mean it's gone. All right. What you working on?
All right, so this is my traveling vanilla sock. This is Knit Picks Felici in, it's like ice cream cone or something like that is the colorway. I'm like you. I've got a little bowl of my yarn bands next to my computer for entering them on Ravelry or Instagram or whatever, but I don't carry it around with me because I'll lose it. So it's some kind of ice cream whatever. But this is just a vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars. I always carry these around. A lot of times I'll just knit like all the way to the I've started doing something this year where I'm knitting all the socks that way and not putting a heel in. And then at the end of the year, I can just figure out who those socks are for.
That's a great idea.
And cut the heel in and we're done with the gift knits. So that's my vanilla sock for somebody else.
I have a knot, excuse me.
And then, got a pile of crap here. My Garter Marlar. It's pink.
It's not pink.
It's pink. So I'm down to
I do too.
the ribbing on my tiniest little collar needle. And then I get to come back through and pick up the sleeves. And like all knitters, I knit 2,000 stitches perfectly. Let me show you the spot I screwed up. Doesn't everybody do that? Like, oh yeah, I made it myself. Let me show you my boo-boo.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just be like, look what I made.
Oh, I can show you one on mine. I got a stitch and didn't notice it till I was already done.
So here's where, and I was telling y'all earlier, like I was just chugging along on the garter and wove my ends in on the wrong side.
Oh my gosh.
But it's the Weavin' Stevens,
It's
so
okay,
I'm just
we can
gonna...
fix it.
They'll pull out easy.
I'm gonna unpick those,
Yep.
and I'll fix that, and
I love
then
the little pops of orange in there.
yeah, that is some Lorna's laces. It was actually, believe it or not, a self-stripe. Well, hers doesn't self-stripe. Hers micro stripes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was a 2-color variegated yarn that was most definitely gonna pool, which pools are for swimming, not for knitting. So,
I know I like a good pool.
some people do, and you can be wrong, and I still like you.
I'm so glad.
Actually, I've seen really cool pooling. I do like the assigned pooling when they do
Yes.
things, but what I hate is when I'm knitting socks and like it's all good in the hood and you got like the little micro striping
Yep.
for like the first half of the leg, and then for no reason at all, the front half of your sock is one color and
Yep.
the back is something else.
You're like, what happened?
It just gives me hives.
And
We
see,
were
that
doing
doesn't
so
bother me at
good.
all because I don't. I'm
mean,
just
if I'm-
knitting socks to knit socks.
If I'm putting it like a shawl, especially if I'm doing like stripy bits in the shawl, and I have one of those that would generally pull, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I need it to be mellowed out.
I can't.
I don't love it.
I can't get down like that. So marling it helped actually, and just it being across a tremendous amount of stitches. What's the body like? I don't know, 1,500 stitches.
It's like 200 something, maybe.
I know, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
238, I think.
That sounds
is
right.
where
'Cause
you're
I think we are pretty much all knitting the exact same size.
Well, I accidentally knit the size up when I didn't mean to.
You're
but
knitting the 4-ish, 5-ish, right? Did
Yeah,
you do a
basically.
4 yoke and a 5 body?
I think I'm knitting the 5.
I did a 4 yoke and a 5 body on accident, but I did figure out what I did. So, you know, in the pattern where it says repeat these two
Yes.
rows 1 and 2, we repeated rows
Yes.
1 and 2 of the increase, not the actual pattern rows.
That is correct. Well, and then
Instead
there was one section where I was reading it, but I wasn't reading it because it said, like, as an example, it's paid for pattern, so don't screw it up. But,
Right.
like, the whole time you've been doing increases, it's like knit 5, make 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the pattern. Well, on this one row, it's not that. It's like
Yep.
knit 6, make 1, knit 6. And so you should have knit the 6 twice. Your girl did not. And you know, I'd even watched you screw it up.
Right.
And like sat
we
here
were,
as
we
we
were
fixed
sitting
it.
here.
And I'm like, man, that sucks. And then I go home.
Sucks to be
Do
you.
it again.
I was like,
And then you did the exact same thing.
guess who saw it coming and didn't tap the brakes?
Note to self.
That
Yeah.
wasn't in my instructions.
No.
Thank goodness.
I was so hoping it was an error. Like, I was extra hot when I realized it was not errata, it was Tashada, and I had just messed it up.
That's
Obviously
my
my
new
issue
name
too.
for it.
Tashada.
It's Tashada.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So,
It's like a short row is an oxymoron, so you don't call it a
yeah.
short row.
It's extra knitting.
It's extra knitting.
It's extra bonus stitch. So, alright, so that's the cardigan I'm doing. The shawl I'm knitting is for the March to May DRK knit along, and I am probably messing that up, but we will fix it all in the edits and in the show notes. So whatever I call it, the real thing's in the show notes. So it is currently in my Hide and Hammer.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
It was their Spin Cycle Edition bag, and I love it deeply. And it can hold literally everything. I have all the yarn for this shawl in there, but it's like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, looks like a lunch sack. So,
You've got some room to spare.
I do. So this is knit in Spin Cycle Versus and in Dyed in the Wool. And what's kind of cool about the shawl is that they're not the same weight yarn. And that forces the color pops to be more noticeable. I'm in the middle of a row. I'm new.
Again?
I'm
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
90%,
Since it's brioche,
baby.
I would not mess with it.
all I had to do was slide him. I don't know what happened there. I happened there.
You just put it down again.
I happened. So, this is the Cinnabar by DRK. I should have said that. By Andrea Mowry. And it is a brioche shawl.
Can I
So,
squish it?
you can squish it. I'll show close-ups because I know it'll be far now. But
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's super
That is so
squishy.
nice.
It's so pretty.
The
I
only
love
thing
that
about I love it. It's slow fading from the wine color to this green, and then it'll go back to this purple color in the middle, and then the orange and gray stay the same the entire time. So it just kind of transitions against it, which I really like.
Okay.
The problem with brioche is that the tashadas are super obvious. Like when you screw up in 2-color brioche, you don't have to point it out to anybody. They don't need your help. They know. So I don't knit on it a whole bunch because my children are, I'm going to say, super active. And it's the kind of knitting that, like, no kids, no wine.
Tasha time knitting.
Tasha time knitting, which is rare. So, like, that amount of knitting, I think, took me hours. And brioche is like that anyway, because you knit each row twice, basically. Like, you work each row twice. So, that is my shawl. And then the last thing is a sock that's for me. This is knit on Arkansas Yarn Co. I subscribe to their monthly box. This was the October color, Toss the Bouquet, that they did for Jess's wedding. It's really pretty. It's like a sandy beige color. And then has little pops of the colors she used in her wedding. So like olive green, yellow, there's some wine colors, blue. It's really pretty. What I'm doing with it, I'm actually knitting it on 1.5s like you, which I like better. I've been knitting on 0s for the longest because I love a tight fitting sock. I feel like it's going to last longer and wear better and whatever, but I actually really like the way the 1.5 feels, so I may stick with that. And this is sock 1 from the 52 Weeks of Socks book, which is called, come here, Bookmark.
That book is so cool.
It's called Intersections. It's by Marceline Smith. So I'm going to work through the book 1 week at a time, and a year from now on our anniversary podcast, I will have 52 pairs of socks.
Ooh.
Ish. I'll have 90% of 52 pairs of socks.
We'll do the math on that here a little bit. I love it.
Alrighty, so that's the whips.
Awesome.
Finished up.
Show and tell.
Well, this is my Croft
Yes.
by Isabelle Kramer. I knit the 48 because I wanted some positive ease. I love it. It is knit with Plutalope, which was a gift from Penny of the PJ Knits podcast. She
Can I
gave
feel
me
it?
the yarn. Yeah,
See, that's a
And it
little
comes in
rustic.
plates, right?
It's
That's
in
the
a
deal,
plate,
and it,
yeah.
When you see it in the garment, it looks so... I don't know the word I'm looking for. I would never have suspected the yarn came the way it did because it
Yeah.
looks so plied, I think
Yeah.
is the word
It's
I'm wanting. Structure.
super fragile. So, I mean, literally, you can just do this and tear it.
Oh my.
The nice thing is, you also can spit splice it.
True.
So the only ends that I had to weave in were at the collar and the bottom in mine right here. And because it's so fragile, I was really afraid of like weaving in ends with a needle.
Yeah.
So I used a crochet hook and moved them up, and then I'm gonna let it felt. I didn't like trim it tight. I'm gonna let it just felt. It was super filthy. The yarn, it's got a lot of oils in it. So it took 2 good washes, but it dried in less than 24 hours.
That's
So
amazing.
that was kind of nice. So I love it. It's going with me on my trip in 2 weeks. So I wanted that. And then,
Do you feel like it's next to Skin Soft?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't.
I thought it felt more rustic.
It is
I'm a-
rustic,
I'm
but
a-
it doesn't bother me next to skin.
Especially because a particular garment, it's so wide at the neck. The one
Yeah.
place that rustic yarns really bother me is right on
Yeah,
the
I don't
neck. But
think-
you have such a nice fit.
It's, I don't think it bothers me at all.
That's awesome.
And then this
pretty.
is
I
my
like that color.
next one. This is my Ranunculus. It is knit in, hang on a minute, let me think. Pearl Soho linen quill in the rhubarb pink colorway, and Alpaca Yarn Company Halo in white. And so they blended together really well.
That's so
And
pretty.
it's knit on 9s and 10s. And I think I knit the size 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this.
That knit up
Very
really
nice.
quickly for you too.
It did. It was a really fast knit. So 2 garments in the year.
Woohoo!
So far.
And it's only whatever day it is.
Maybe I can
The
say
end of
it's
March.
The end of March.
3 garments.
Garment?
This is for my new granddaughter. It's the size 3 months. It's the Snugbug. And I knit this with Encore tweed worsted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she will get this tomorrow.
It's so cute.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That's a great baby garment. I like any of the baby garments.
It's washable, so it's nice.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
But I like how open it is across the front, so
Yeah.
that the onesie just takes the beating,
Yes.
and not the knits.
When they spew, you're
Easy to
and they will.
Yeah. All right, and then probably my favorite thing that I knit this year. Somebody's gonna have to help me hold it.
We'll Vanna White it for you.
This is my Anthology Crow.
Oh, let me try to get that.
It's so soft.
It is knit with. Okay, you can drop it. 400 grams exactly of minis. And I used minis that came from advent calendars or kits that I purchased. And
your color sense in that was
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
awesome.
I would have
Just
thought
love
somebody
it.
had like put that together as a just
I love it. I was very happy with it. I like all the fall colors that go with it and everything. So anyway, that's my favorite thing I've knit so far this year.
Beautiful.
And then maybe Tasha will insert some pictures. I knit a chick, a duck, and a bunny for my 3 oldest granddaughters, and they got them this weekend.
For sure.
I don't have them.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll include detailed pictures, cut-ins, and then at the end of the podcast, if you stay tuned, there will actually be just a slideshow of all the finished objects, so that you can see them, and I'll re-tag them with who and what and where and all the deets.
And I said I knit them, but I crocheted them. So
That's
I
fine.
crocheted.
You
them.
created them.
Yes.
You made them.
That's my finished objects.
All right. My show and tell. Annetta, I knit these socks.
Thank you. I love them.
They are just the plain vanilla socks, fish lips, kiss heel, knit on size 1.5. I used yarn that we had gotten on a yarn adventure. I have it linked, ready to link in the show notes. It is a yarn shop in Zionsville, Indiana. Village Yarn Shop, maybe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I have it written down.
Oh, is that the
Don't
cute
have it.
little shop?
Yeah, the cute little shop
think
that had
that's
like the
in the
farmer's market out in front
Yes.
of it.
Yeah. Yes.
It was so cute. And it's Sheepy Time knit yarn, and it's their zebra sock, and the colorway is February 2022, and it's a color pop, and apparently that it was created for that yarn shop. It said created for the yarn shop on the tag, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Custom
So,
colorway.
Right, good vacation yarn, trip yarn, adventure yarn, whatever you want to call it. But I knit them, and I thought the little Marley bits, because the yarn had a twist of like the black and the pink, or the black and the yellow. I thought they were going to be more throughout. It did micro stripe, which I think is pretty cool, because obviously I like stripes, because I pretty much knit self-striping yarn for just about everything. All my socks. But Annetta was like, oh, those are so cute. I really like those. And then as I'm knitting them, because I wasn't done with the foot yet, I was like, well, looks like Annetta's getting these socks.
And I love them.
And she did not wear we have on our hand knit socks. So Annetta did not this morning. So she got her birthday present quite early.
Yes.
So
I
they're
love
Annetta
them.
socks. Let's see, what else do I have finished? I too knit a little Snugbug. But I knit mine out of the Burrow Hat vintage for one of my husband's coworkers who is expecting a little girl. And they are fans of neutral colors, so we did the buttercream colorway.
The neutral is neutral.
The neutral is neutral. I mean, you can pretty much put anything with it. And like Tasha said, I like this type of pattern for babies because when they puke on it, the onesie gets it, and
that's
the
a free-
sweater stays clean.
That's a free pattern.
Yes, it is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it was super easy. There was no picking up of
Didn't
any
you knit
stitches.
that in like 2 hours or something? Like it
Pretty
was
close.
It was a text that was like, "Hey girls, I think I'm gonna knit a baby sweater." And then I was making dinner, and she was like, "Look, I finished a baby sweater."
I did it within that day.
I just remember my comment was, damn.
Exactly.
I did it within the day. Thank
Do
you
your
very
needles
much.
get hot?
I mean, no. That's why I use metal, not wood.
Have you ever singed your knitting?
No, that's why you don't use wooden needles. And then I knit this little bunny tails to go with it. That took me a couple hours. A baby hat, it's super easy. And then I had to put some color with it because, well, I needed color.
I have.
And so we did some pale purple. I thought that was not crazy. One of my coworkers ran to Michael's with me on lunch, and we picked it out. And so now and this is the vintage Barocco DK. In the same color. It's pretty close. It's obviously not the same dye lot because one's worsted, one's DK, but I went ahead and got the buttercream in that and made this cute little hat. It's Bunny Tails by Susan B. Anderson in the Itty Bitty Knits book, which I had inherited from you. I was gonna do my most favorite one from that, which is the upside down daisy hat. I don't know if you all
Oh, yes.
I love
like
that
that
hat,
hat.
but I was like, no, let's be a little more neutral. You know, because it's hard to make a neutral color flower hat.
Yeah, you're kind of committing to a theme.
Yeah, you're kind of, so I thought that looked really cute and very
That is
neutral.
Cute.
And then I knit some little toys for my daughter. This is Blueberry the Bunny. It's actually Bon Bon by Susan Claudino. So he's has just a little cutie here, and he's got a little tail. And I knit this out of Lonnie Bunny's Enchanted Yarn Company Magic Peri Berry. So this was the first time I'd used this yarn. We found it when we went to over the next row.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Prospect. They were grand opening. We went, and I was like, I'm buying something.
Oh.
New yarn store. This was a new to me yarn, and I'm glad I have probably half of it left because I want to knit a hat, which was my original thought for it, for Eliza. But she picked it out for this bunny, and I was like, well, I was going to use it for you anyway, so sure. And
so pretty.
it was really nice to knit with. It was really springy, really fun, and I love the colors in it. So
is that
like,
the 8-ply worsted that
yes,
we got? Yeah.
yes.
So it's actually 4 2-ply strands of yarn that they've twisted together. So it also gets really great color pops because
really
of
pretty.
the way that it takes the
Yeah.
dye out. It's beautiful and like springy and
it did not like do any sort of weird pooling or like any sort of craziness. I think all of the different color bits are all moved around
uniformly speckled.
Yes, so
She cute.
he's the cutie. And then I also knit her a little Peep because she likes little
The only good Peeps
creatures.
in that Peep.
right. So this is leftover Northern Bee Studios from my Love Note over there, over on Mabel the Mannequin.
Get out of your way.
I knit the cropped version just to see what I thought about it. I'm not sure I'll knit another crop sweater. I don't know that it's
Your thing?
I don't know that it is. Like, I kind of felt like Winnie the Pooh, like I was missing half my sweater.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know. Like,
crops are not for me.
like it's cute. I'm not saying it's not. It looks fine on.
Yeah.
Like, I wore it over a black dress, and I had compliments on it, and people really liked it, and it's really soft, and it's really... I might make another one and make it a normal length sweater, but I just...
Just because people like it on you doesn't
Doesn't
mean
mean-
that you like it.
Right.
It's about
right?
personal
It's
comfort.
personal,
And
yeah.
I don't, it didn't look bad. It's just not my normal go-to. And I really feel like I can't wear it unless I have a longer dress on.
You want triple
But
material.
I've seen people like
Oh yeah, and it looks
my
cute.
age wearing them, and I'm like, oh, you look so cute. And then I put it on, I'm like, I look like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's because of the rest of the clothes that I have,
Maybe
or that
it's just
we
not my
have. Maybe
style.
it just I mean,
Maybe it's just not me.
I'm kind of a shirt and blue jeans girl. I don't think cropped sweaters have any.
I just don't think it's me. But
But
I
it is
liked
nice when you knit them and you're like 9 inches from the
yes.
sleeve, and you're like, and I'm done with the
Zip,
body.
zip, zip.
Yeah, I mean,
Winding off.
I definitely I want to knit them all day. I can't wear them.
I want them to look cute on me, but they do not.
Well, and for the bustier, like you kind of verge on it looking like
Yeah.
a boob shrug.
That's what I was afraid of. I think I tried it on and actually used those words at one point.
Yeah.
Like before I blocked it and before I finished it, I think I sent a picture of me with it on as it's like right here. And I said, does this look like a boob shrug? And everyone was like, oh, it'll block out.
That shit'll block right out.
It did.
It's the shape of our bodies. It makes it look like we were taking up more knitted material.
It's funny because, I mean, I used to always knit my sweaters like,
To the butt.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
But to me now they're cropped because they're like more at my waist. But I don't know if I would go even higher. Probably because of the stomach roll I have. It would accentuate it.
Same.
Would accentuate that.
Yeah. It's like that fashion rule you learn about like not letting your skirts or shirts stop at the thickest part of your body, and like Shazam, man. Like no mercy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it and I like knitting it, but I really think it would
Super
look
soft.
really cute on Eliza, so I might just knit her the next one.
I love it on everybody that I've seen wearing it. And
Right.
honestly, no matter what their body type is.
No, I love it on all these people, which is why I was like, oh, I'm gonna look so cute.
Do you have a yarn left over?
I felt
Oh, yeah, I have a whole bunch.
Why don't you just rip out the waist, the ribbing?
because when it's done,
I will rip out your
it's
ribbing.
done.
Now,
She
I will rip
done.
out your ribbing, and you can add like 2 inches.
I'll destroy your finished object, and you can knit more.
That means I have to do more.
It's 2 inches.
Nope.
Okay.
That yarn
But I
has
like
gone
it
on to
over the
become
dress,
a peep.
I
It's
guess.
done.
I mean,
Yeah, it looks good over the dress. You worked at church.
Yep.
And it looked really good.
it looked nice.
It honestly is cute. I think it's just
Yeah.
an us issue,
I think it's
and
a me
that's
issue.
not what we like our knitted garments to fit like.
I think that's
Yeah.
it. And like, I've seen it on bunches of people, like a
all
million,
builds, all
bazillions
types.
of people
Yeah,
have
it
knit
always
that
looks
sweater,
great.
and it always looks so
It
cute.
does.
And then I put it on, and I was like, I don't think this is me, but I think it's more of a me thing.
It's a
It's
me.
just not me.
It's a me.
You know, we talked about this sweater earlier this morning because I was debating whether or not I was going to knit it. And I think because I get so hot anymore
Mhm.
that I can't wear this because I would have to wear something under
Yeah.
it. And then I would like be so miserably hot.
Depending
if it was
on
a winter,
the yarn.
Right.
you know, because I just don't want that open lace work. Like,
Mhm.
Right
Right
there.
across-
Because you
right
have
here.
to, yeah.
yeah.
Definitely a seasonal transition.
Yeah, I think I could wear it in the winter.
Mhm.
I'd be fine, but it's not something I want to wear. And I'm looking for things to wear to knit for summer.
I think if I knit, I think a short sleeve version of that would have been, I could have done like the short sleeve and made it more springier, but they're still only, they're not
Yeah, they're like
full
3/4,
length. Yeah,
aren't they?
they're not
Yeah.
long sleeves.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was a fun knit, that's for sure. It was a quick knit,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did the knitting out of DK weight. I did not hold anything with it. I have yarn to do one with mohair and fingering weight yarn, like the pattern calls for,
Mohair.
and it's mohair. It was gifted to me.
We're team no mo here.
I'm
just so y'all
definitely
know.
a team no more.
I will knit with it. I have knit with it before. It does kind of make my eyeballs itch a little bit, which I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't knit it for Eliza. She's a little.
I do knit with it. It makes my eyeballs itchy.
I'm
but I knit
highly
with it.
allergic to the
Well, it just
mohair.
kind of makes my eyes feel like I got
Fluffs
something
in them.
Well, maybe it's it. Maybe it is.
It
eyeball
probably
fluff. I don't
literally
know.
is.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. Oh no, I got
I
another
find
knit.
it
Your turn. I got
so-
another knot. So
That yarn's about to get fired into the sun.
well, I'll fix it. Maybe.
I wasn't ready.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. So
And
finished
yeah.
objects. First up.
Ooh.
Speaking of over the next row knits.
Oh my gosh.
This is the Hedgehog Fibers in Static that I picked up. This
Oh,
is a
that's so
Muscle Burrow
cute.
by Isabelle Teague. And
Voila.
I haven't even blocked it yet. Bad knitter. Bad
It's a hat.
knitter.
hat.
Ta-da! It's a hat.
That's
So-
what your head's for.
I know. I do, this is probably, we talked about being like sock knitters for vanilla socks or whatnot, but I love the Muscle Burrow for that. And it's not the only hat that fits that bill, but I recently mastered knitting and reading at the same time, so I can prop up my Kindle app on my iPad and knit away or watch TV, but mostly it was a reading thing because when I watch TV or movies, it's not like I really have that much trouble looking down to see what I'm doing. But when I'm reading, I am gone. Like, it totally sucks me in. I don't remember turning pages, any of that. So it had to be truly autopilot. And this lets you do that forever. When you're knitting socks, sooner or later you get to the heel point, you have to do real knitting. So anyway, so this is the Muscle Burrow, but I would like to pretty much always have one on the needle for that point. And hats are really good gift knits because you
Absolutely.
don't have to know very much about
They're
their
pretty
fit
stretchy.
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Muscle Burrow.
I love those colors. That's
Me
pretty.
too. Hedgehog Fiber can really just do no wrong for me. She's a color wizard, and even when you see it on the skein, you know, or I know, I never would have picked those colors out myself and put them together, but it's beautiful. From a dyer perspective, when I get the yarn and I lay it out, I don't understand how she did it. Like, everything about it is just magical to me. Alright, so that's the Muscle Burrow. Okay, so I also knit the Tin Can Knit Love Note. I knit it out of the Suburban Stitcher Rosewood sock yarn. And I held it with the
Oh my lord.
the Surrey I got from Chelsea Lux. We picked this up at Over the Next Row as well. So it was a rose gold Surrey, and I held that together for the garment with the Suburban Stitcher. And that is the Love Note.
Beautiful.
So pretty.
Yeah, loves it. Woven, none of my ends. So I think that's all the finished objects I have. I have not been as productive as y'all.
You're also
Been
doing a
doing
brioche.
brioche.
I'm also doing a brioche show. Yeah. So.
All right. So we've got all of our finished objects. We got to do our show and tell.
So acquisitions and then future knits.
Sure.
Do you think?
Anybody get anything cool this week or last month, or anybody get anything cool in the mail?
I just have those 2 books.
Well, let us see them. All right.
I purchased the Neons and Neutrals by Amy Gili and Line and Knitting. I kind of want to knit about 6 things out of here, so
At least, yeah.
to me it was worth the money to purchase it. Let me find the one colorwork sweater. It's called Wervel.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You can see it in 2 different colors there. So that's probably the first thing I want to knit out of it. Isn't that gorgeous?
I like the colors.
Yep. And then I purchased Viking Knits by Lassie Matberg. It's got men's, women's, and kids sweater patterns in there, and he is just amazing to look at.
It is a visual delight.
It's a visual delight.
I mean, every picture of him in this book is worth looking at.
But also the sweaters.
The sweaters too.
But my favorite part about it is the sizing, because it's small.
Oh, yes.
It goes to 2X, and then the next size is Lassie, his name. So I just think, and every single pattern was like that. The 3X size is always just his name. But yeah, it's just a great coffee table book.
I think so.
So those are the 2 books that I brought.
The patterns are great, but he is beautiful, and that does not hurt.
No, he's amazing.
I got some yarn in. I ordered the Barocco, and then I ordered some Encore Tweed from Jimmy Bean's Wool to make another one of the Snugbugs and a hat for someone else I know who's having a little baby who's a boy, and I thought this was really good and boyish. It would match most everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love a tweed. So
Yeah,
the little
that's a
tweed
nice neutral
flakes.
tweed.
Yeah, it's got little cream and brown and little black bits in it, and I think it would be just
Cute.
super cute, washable, easy to care for, and yeah,
Cute.
I have a box on the way, but it's allegedly sitting in Colorado right now. Who knows when we get it?
Doesn't yarn take the funniest trips? I ordered something from Simply Sock Yarn one time, which is in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Just next door.
Just next door.
And to the north.
Ish. And we're the next state over anyway.
Right.
And you would think there's no way it's not going to go through Louisville. And it did. And then it went to Austin, Texas. And then it went to Atlanta, Georgia. And then it came back to Louisville. And of course, the moment I ordered it, I am stalking the daylights out of this package. Yeah. But yeah, it took a little adventure around the country before it came here.
I've been stalking it since the 21st, and it's still sitting.
The whole time it's been there?
Yeah, it moved to the post office in Colorado, and it's still showing in the post office in Colorado.
I was telling Lindsay earlier that a lot of times I can have a package coming from Washington or California, and when it hits Colorado, it stops.
I wonder why that is.
And I don't know if they just don't scan it, or it is such a large post office that it takes them longer to move packages through.
Maybe they have something like how UPS is in Louisville, so it all comes here.
The hub.
And maybe the hub, that's the
yeah.
word. So maybe that's some kind of shipping hub.
Yeah, it could be. But
Those
it just
hubs are
seems to
fast.
stick there for a long time.
Our hubs are fast.
Yeah, they are. They are. All right, was that your acquisition?
Yeah, just that.
All right, so I have the 52 weeks of socks that I got from Lina, and it's in like a softer cover. I think I got this for $19.99 at Barnes and Noble. So if this is a book, I'd been wanting this ever since it came out. But I wasn't super wanting that price tag. So if this is a book you've been wanting for a while, it is more affordable in the softer cover version. And you can find it at, I found it at Barnes & Noble. I got really lucky that way. Amazon, I think, also is selling it at a similar price point. So, that, and I had another acquisition. Oh.
It's hiding.
It's hiding. Sorry for the crinkles. So, I subscribe to the Arkansas Yarn Sock Society. Once a month, I get a really fun package in the mail. Super look forward to it. This was March's colorway. I'm going to crinkle it for just a minute. Every month you get at least a skein of sock yarn that's unique to the sock club. You get stitch markers. The theme has been, I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but the theme for the year was my favorite thing. So there were some months that we got like I call them yarn condoms. What are they called? They go around your cakes so that when you center pull them.
I need some of those. Yarn bras.
Sure.
I
So,
don't know what else to call them.
I called them yarn condoms and bra sounds better, so we'll go with that.
I don't know what they're actually called.
I don't either.
Ball
Cozies?
cozy or something like that.
So she sent those. Sometimes it's measuring spoons, sometimes it's whatever. This time it was these cute little stitch markers. There's always an Arkansas shaped one, and then like a little themed stitch marker that makes sense with the yarn. So this was kind of a rainbow themed. It has really great micro speckles on it. It was the Friends or the Rainbow After a Storm. I get theirs on their high twist. It's a 85-15. So this time it came with a mini. It doesn't always. It just varies from month to month. But you cannot always sign up for the Sock Yarn Society. It's usually full. If it's something that you've ever thought about, I can't recommend it enough. It's really exciting to know that once a month there's yarn showing up.
What's the yardage on that skein?
This skein is 394 yards. So it's also good for when I want to use the 1.5 and just knits up as a really great squishy, hard-wearing sock.
Oh, yeah.
So they have 4 or 5 different bases you can choose, but that was mine. So I like them a lot. In fact, I guess I should have another one coming in a week or two. So, yeah. Yay. Yay, yarn. All right, so that's all the acquisitions.
So my future knits, will be knitting socks for my granddaughters. Just basic plain-o socks. But my newest garment will be the Anchor Tee by Petite Knits. I haven't decided on my yarn yet. I got a couple options in my stash, my personal yarn store because it's huge. But anyway, that's going to be a travel knitting sweater. Mm-hmm. And then the Iber shawl by Stephen West will be my next big one. That's it.
I too am going to do the Eyelet Burst shawl by Stephen West. We have some awesome yarn being dyed for us.
Yes, we do.
So we'll debut that once we get it and start, because it needs to be just, we want to do it justice. And then also April 1st, I will start my April hat. This is what I'll be knitting. I have the yarn already. It is that pink. It's a very salmon color.
Bubbles.
I'm not sure I think there's some bobbles, and I think there's like elongated stitches, and it's like a faux cable. I think I read the pattern.
Oh,
Does it have like a tam shape to it?
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
You can
So
lock
it's
it
a
over
tam.
a dinner plate?
Yeah.
Bubbles, cables,
As
slip
one
stitches.
does.
So like all the hats have some sort of
That
different
is so stinking cute.
pattern to it. And I would really like to get my tad done, BAT80. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
I would really like to get that done next month. So I don't know that I'm going to cast on another garment necessarily. I might try to get that one knocked out before I cast on my next sweater, because 3 is really about my
comfort zone.
comfort zone. I mean, doesn't mean I won't, but
Yeah.
right now, I don't know, because I'll get the hat done first part of April, and then I'll have other things to do, so
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that shawl done, though.
So my future knitting will definitely be the next couple of socks and the 52 weeks of socks. I've been dyeing up my own sock yarn so that I can start using it for those. I've got some spring colors. Hopefully I'll have those knit up by the next time we film. I should, depending on how long it takes us. I should have 3 to 4 pair. And then the next thing I'm going to knit, the next garment after I get this Garter Marlar off the needles is, I'm not sure which one I want to knit, but Skein Deer has this classic summer collection, and they're all short sleeve garments, and they're designed in linen and cotton, and all the yarn festivals for us are in just the thick of heat.
Yes, it is.
There's the Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival this year that's May 20th, 21st, and it's already roasty toasty by then. And they're all in barns, which is great because you're out of the sun, but like no breeze. So I just, when you go to these festivals, you want to have something that's like, I'm a knitter.
Right.
So I need like a not only short sleeve, but just a different fiber.
Yeah.
So I want to try hers instead of just like picking a sweater and subbing that yarn. She designed hers intending for it to be used with linen and cotton. And when you knit with linen, because of just its own structure, it has no structure, it just hangs. So the garments that she designed, there's a lot of like pleating in the sleeve caps and things like that,
nice.
a lot of details that just give the garment structure. So I'm excited to do that, and that'll probably be my next project, just because I badly want to have something knit on when we go to these yarn festivals. Wool gathering at Young's Dairy. That was
miserable.
September.
So
it
Like,
was
third
Ohio.
week in September.
Like I was sweating like a whore in church.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
So hot.
It's really
And like it's it's thick with people. There's no air, and you're just walking around clutching like wool.
I don't think I've ever seen her patterns for that. I've watched like her gloves or mittens and her winter sweaters, but I've never seen her
I'll
spring
have
and
to
summer
show 'em
garments.
to
I'll
you.
have to look at those.
Yeah, she normally, like, I know a lot of people when they think Skein Deer, they think selbumets, they think traditional Norwegian color
I want to
work.
knit that all over color work Christmas sweater at some point.
that is so
everything.
cute.
There's never enough knitting time. I want to knit all the things, but it is different from anything she's ever made, and I don't know that she really. I caught a podcast where she was discussing it coming out. I think I only remembered hearing her speak about it once or twice, and I just moved on it really quick and got some commercial. I think I got like Jupiter Moon for some linen yarn, and we're gonna give it a shot. Give it a
Not
whirl.
knit
I'll
with
let it.
100% linen.
I don't know that I have either.
Yeah.
I mean, I've of course read about it and heard other knitters using it and how drying it can be on the hands or just kind of stiff and unyielding to work with. But it's one of those fibers that like when you block it, the whole thing transforms. So
Right, they say the more you wash it, the better it gets. Yeah, but I've not knit with it.
no, not me either. So that'll be new on a couple of fronts. I've never really done a garment that had that many structural details. For me, it's definitely been just a lot of raglan sweaters or round yoke, and you just cast on your neck and pop a couple armholes in and then just keep going. So this will be very different.
Awesome.
But if it doesn't work, I can always drop back and punt and wear a shawlette or something.
I was gonna say, like, I always try to do a shawlette, but even then, sometimes you just end up tying around your bag
That's what I was
because
going
you're
to say.
just
Tie
like,
it around the back.
holy
Yeah.
monkeys, I'm dying.
Look like Johnny Depp, just have it like tied to your
Right?
bracelet.
Yeah.
to your
Do
wrist.
something. But I thought about trying to come up with a small shawl to wear.
Yeah.
Because you always want to wear something new and you want to like show off your knits when you go to
Yeah.
festivals and things. But Lord,
I'm saying. Those little kerchief things are really cute that they put over, some knitters put over their hair, like it's knit like a triangle bandana.
Yes.
But I don't know if my head is exceptionally round or the
Does
malfunction.
it slide off the back?
Like,
Oh,
Totally.
I could injure somebody behind me. Like, if there's enough elastic, it will.
You know, it's a Sarah podcast. She always wears those cabled
And they're
headbands and
cute
stuff.
as a
She has curly
button.
hair like you do, and it's just adorable.
It is, but dangerous.
Did you see, who was it that they knit the Sophie scarf, but maybe a smaller? Is there a smaller Sophie scarf?
There's
The
two
one
sizes.
There's two
Like
sizes,
the
and I'm in the
smaller
long
one?
of the Sophie
I think
scarf.
it was Black Sheep Knitter. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cute, and she had it like tied.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was adorable.
So you could wear something like
I
that.
could.
It
I
looks
guess.
cute when they do, but like I'd have to have 40 bobby pins going from the opposite direction. You know what I need? Do you remember in the 90s those plastic?
There's ones that have like zip, zip,
I
zip,
know.
zip, 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 zip.
We are always right there. Yeah, exactly.
I got
The
you.
zigzag headband that was like
You'd
put it around your
You have to,
your
like,
neck
have
basically.
to like pull it out before
Not
you
the
like
face,
stab
not the
yourself
face.
in things.
Yeah.
I swear, I think my daughter-in-law has one of those.
She probably does.
So
Because she has such thick hair that she tries to keep pulled back.
well, that's not
No,
why I
it-
do
it-
it. I do
it-
it because it stays. It
Well, it
can't.
like it would go in and it stayed, and then all this part would poof.
Yeah.
Like a comb?
Yeah, it
Kinda,
looked
yeah,
like,
but all the way around
You know
the
those
head.
combs that you like stick in and do that with? It's that shape, but you put it on like this, and it's like you put it around your neck and hook it, and it's like
And then
it's
slide
like a
it on
choker,
up.
and then you like
Oh,
pull
wow.
it and then
Oh,
move
yeah.
it and hope you don't stab your
I've never
ear.
had that kind of problem, though, because my hair has always been short.
Well,
It was a 90s
it's
thing.
just it's a
100%
90s
90s
thing.
thing.
The same people that came up with that came up with the little plastic chokers we wore too.
It was very reminiscent of those, except
Yeah.
it was dangerous.
You could
'cause
see
it was
where-
pokey.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
But I could put one of those on, was the moral of this whole story.
Sorry.
Could put one of those on and put like one of the little knit bands over that, and
that
it
would
would
be cute.
stay.
Knit yourself a scrunchie just to put your hair back.
Yeah, I could do that. Those have been all the rage. I keep seeing it. Are they just like basically big knit like ruffles around
I think so.
a hair
Around a
tie
band,
or
yeah, I
something?
think so.
Okay. I could do that. Scrunchies
I
are
might
bad.
try it, Sophie. I might try
90s
Sophie's
are
scarf.
back.
Even though I said I wasn't going to knit it.
I love my Sophie scarf, but to me, I can't give away the secret sauce, but the increase row, it's hard to see it. And you have to do it so many rows. And
You have to be really careful.
yeah, and I mean, so I'm constantly tick marking.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm a tick marker.
You know, and then you have to make sure that you're slipping your stitches the right direction, because I have one mistake in mine.
Ooh.
And when I saw it, I was like, I'm not going back and fixing that.
Is it DK weight?
You can knit it in any way.
Oh.
I think mine was fingering.
Is it a petite knitter pattern?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, you can knit
I
it in
wonder
any
if we
way.
could get
though.
like those little hair comby things and like stitch it to the inside, and that
Oh,
would
yeah.
like stick in, like
I
they
think
do
you could.
on
I
like
think you're onto
veils
something
and
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
Since our hair spits things out.
That's what it would take. Our hair and our perfectly round heads.
I know.
There's just no
I
like
always tell people
purchase
I have
point.
a pea head.
I do. Or even like glasses or headbands, if I wear them, I get these pressure points just right behind the ears because my head is so round that it doesn't like narrow down like some people's do, and so it's too much pressure on the side of
I
my
just got some of those headbands that you put
my
on, and
weird
then you like
head.
make it stick to
They
your head.
hurt.
And they're a little bit better than regular headbands, but they still aren't great. But they keep my hair on my face so I can wash it. So
They hurt. I've always wanted to, some of those girls just toss a bandana on all effortless and it's
Oh, yeah.
cute.
Looks adorable.
And
then it just shoots off the back of my head.
Yeah.
And it's really, really
I look
weird.
like Tyrone.
You should
It
take my
is
Sophie
not
scarf
for
and just
me.
tie it around and see what you think. I mean, I did make the bigger one, but you could still get a kind of an idea, maybe.
I would do this. Maybe, I don't know. That might be my best option for Kentucky sheep and wool
You know-
for sure, because it inevitably will be hotter than the blazes of Hades or raining.
You
You,
know
either
it
get
will.
rain
Oh, yeah,
or you
one
get
of the
hot.
two.
Both.
Yeah.
It's either monsoon
steamy
season
or-
the.
Rainy and steamy.
I debated knitting the Sophie
We're either
shawl.
steaming or baking, but either way we be cooking.
Yeah. I debated making a Sophie shawl while on my trip,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, oh, that's too much counting.
Then you gotta think.
And I have to like count and tick mark, and I want something I can just knit.
Knit.
Yeah.
I will say though, I mean, you talked about like skipping that one wrong read. Why do I do this? Wrong leaning. So was it a slip stitch or a decrease? You said you leaned one the wrong way, like you lost track of which way it was.
Oh, it was an increase.
But like nobody knows but you.
Yeah.
And if anybody is that close that they could see it, even if it was another knitter, they're too
Probably
close.
a little too close.
Yeah.
They're close enough to reach with your needles, is what I'm saying.
Boink.
All right, so that's acquisitions. The only other thing we have is like future events. So we talked about Kentucky Sheep and Wool, which is May. We'll be doing that. In July, there is a mini podcaster meetup. We'll link to all the details on that. That's in
Hoffman State.
So up near Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
July
And
28th through the 30th.
Yes.
we still need to plot that trip so that we can like hit the local yarn stores and plan the food along the way. I can't wait. I love
I
adventures.
love planning food.
Me too. When we go anywhere, I literally plan the day around food. Like
Yes. Mine's coffee.
that's
Well,
implied.
I mean, we gotta do that too.
Yeah.
First we drink the coffee, then we do the things.
Yes.
But I am so excited. So we have that in July. That's at the end of
Yeah.
July.
But in April, we have a certain somebody
Me?
debuting their yarn.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
we
going.
do. April
And you go.
19th.
Yep.
And you'll be
When are you debuting it?
April 19th.
Oh, I'll be back for that.
You'll be back.
Yes, I can be back.
I'll be back. I'm still in like this whole hurry up and wait. You know how it goes. Like
Yeah.
you make all these plans and you've got everything ready to go, and then you're just in this holding pattern where you've done everything you have to do, and you're just waiting on all the other people to
Yeah.
do their thing.
It's
So I'm sure we'll talk about
It
that on the
is.
next podcast too.
Yes.
And
I'll
the
even
net of
show
being
you.
out and about in the world.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's
We're
gonna be a knitter at large.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have an extra space and we'll just fill a chair up with things and we'll show off some yarn.
Yeah.
And shamelessly promote.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good
Cautious.
plan.
I'll hog the PR, and
There you
then
go.
we'll have an international knitting section.
I will make sure that there are some videos. My husband said he would do the videoing.
Awesome.
That is kind of.
So, and from the other couple that's going with us, she's also a knitter.
Good. She
And
needs
so
to be
she is casting on her muscle burrow hat
Yay!
today.
awesome.
So she has it ready because we leave on April 2nd.
We already
Yeah.
know that has my vote for vanilla knitting.
Yes.
I may cast on another one. I don't know.
I mean,
But
how
I
close
think
are you to done?
She's almost there.
It's 22 inches, right? And then the decreases?
I got about like that much more to go. I'll finish this week. But I will be in the Mediterranean. So
She fancy.
We'll be here in
Yeah.
Tucky.
and that's the benefit of being retired.
Yes.
Is that you can, about every 9 months, you can take a trip.
There you go.
Have you scoped out, are there yarn shops where you're going to be? Have you
I've
looked?
not done that yet. That will happen,
Yeah.
especially on the days where we don't have excursions.
Yeah,
I
your
want
down
to
days.
check. I won't in Rome. I don't have an excursion done in Rome because I've been there before.
But they have yarn shops in Rome.
Yeah, but Rome gets really super crowded. I think when we go out, we'll just go someplace to have coffee and
Mm-hmm.
my husband and I. And the other couple, they're taking excursions, but and I think I bought yarn in Rome last time I was there, so I can skip that one. But I think Naples maybe or Barcelona maybe I'll find yarn.
I'm just so jealous I can't even see straight.
It's nice to
It's going to be delicious,
be able
first
to
of all.
go and
Right.
Can we talk about the food?
yeah.
Food photos,
Yeah.
by the way.
Just
like
like
when
do
you were in
that when I was
Scotland.
in Scotland.
We're
the
like,
food
oh, yarn,
photos.
that's nice. Now show me your dinner.
Yeah.
Show me what you made.
Although in Scotland it took us almost 2 weeks to take a picture of the sticky toffee pudding because we ate it so fast.
Uh-huh.
And then we go, crap, nobody took a picture. Because we eat it every day.
Yeah,
Oh,
So-
sounds delicious.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite things.
that sounds fabulous. So, yeah, so April, Yarn Company. May is Kentucky Sheep and Wool. July is the meetup. And then
Yeah.
in September, you know, all things working out as they should, we'll have wool
Wool
gathering.
gathering.
What are we going to do in June?
Well, there's
Financially recover.
No. We gotta
Never.
do some of that.
I'll be gone.
I
We're
don't know.
vacationing the week of our anniversary and Eliza's birthday, so the 12th through the. It's gonna have to be the 15th.
Oh, you're going to the East Coast, right?
Maybe. We don't know yet.
First it was Alaska.
Well, no, I wanted to do Alaskan cruise, but that's still on the list of things I want to do. But we're gonna go to Niagara Falls, and my parents are going with. But we may be going to Myrtle Beach, depending on what happens with archery, maybe, possibly, and then doing some beach time. Because Eliza's all about some beach, and then she'd get to meet up with her cousins, and it would be a big old fun times.
But her daughter's a big archery person.
She is all eat up with it right now. She told me the other day, oh, it's so much fun, as we were driving somewhere. So
I love that.
we will see. So that's still up in the air, but I will be gone that week, but doesn't mean we can't do something another day.
I don't know if we have anything knitting related, but in June, that's always when Kentucky starts cracking on with the barbecue festivals.
Oh, I love barbecue.
Me too.
Me too.
We go to Bardstown. I wonder if theirs is in June.
Like, usually Mother's Day weekend here kind of, like, bust that wide open. That's when barbecue season kicks off.
I think their Bourbon Fest is in, like, August, maybe?
That would also be acceptable.
And then
It's too hot to drink bourbon in August.
I think we'd gone to that, and it was quite warm. I've been to the craft one, too, and I think that was in June or July. It was hotter than Blazes of Hades.
Pretty much
But most of the time,
is.
anything from about April through September, October is probably going to be blazing in the state of Kentucky. So
Our June podcast probably look like SeaWorld. We'll just float around in a pool with our knitting and
luckily we're
Ziploc
in a basement,
bags.
so
Well, yeah, we're cool.
we got air conditioning and basement temps.
There will be
so-
no live footage. Like,
Oh.
all I do is sit out in the
Would you like me
backyard
to
with my
see?
kids and just bake to a crisp.
Better than me. I don't even go outside unless I have to.
I don't want to. It's a have to.
I don't like to be.
I-
I don't like to
When I watch the
I'm a
granddaughters,
homebody.
be the same.
the oldest and the youngest ones want to be outside. So Dave takes them out, and the middle one, she's like, I don't like to get hot. So we
Bless
sit
her.
inside.
Bless her.
I am not a fan.
She's my, my little mini-me.
The boys are all about it, and our back porch, I don't know what's up, but it's like 5 feet from the sun. So the rest of the yard is like 80 degrees, and that porch is like 115. Like,
Get you a big
I could grow
beach
bananas
umbrella.
on this porch. I need to do
Missed
something.
opportunity right there.
I need to do something. I'm out there under extreme protest, and of course, like, my hand, I don't know how anybody knits outside. You see all these cute aesthetic pictures people put up where they're like knitting in a park and knitting and hiking, and like, you do you, but my hands get sweaty, and that is the nastiest feeling in the world to me, is knitting with sweaty hands.
When
think
we're
you
at the
feel-
lake, I knit under a tree. I like, as the sun moves, my chair moves. And I stay in the shade, and that's the only way I can knit. Now I can spin. I don't know why, but I
Really?
can spin in the summer and it doesn't bother me. But knitting, if my hands get really
Yeah.
hot, I can't. So I like move in the shade
Oh, no.
so that I don't get super hot.
I try. I would prefer to just be indoors altogether. I'm
Oh, me
only
too.
outside because I have to be.
Me too.
No, thank you. I'll
Just-
stay inside, thanks.
Call me a vampire.
Pretty much.
I don't want the sun.
I don't particularly care for the sun.
I
Hurts my eyes.
When we were looking for a house when we were moving, my husband was endlessly amused because I desperately wanted a house with a sunroom. He was like, "For what reason? You don't like the sun?" I was like, "I don't think you're picking up what I'm putting down. I want the sun on the inside."
So I can sit in the air conditioning and enjoy said
And I
sun.
can just watch the kids play outside.
That's all I want.
Yeah, I don't need to be out there with them.
No, I need high fences and a sunroom.
Absolutely.
Make it so.
There we go.
Gotta watch them kids like a hawk. I still can't get over when I was growing up. My mom never knew where I was. Like, at the end of the night when the news came on, it was like, it's 9 p.m. Do you know where your children are? How did they live that life? I can't go to the bathroom without knowing where my kids are.
I remember being outside and all of a sudden it'd get dark and then you'd start seeing the parents like flipping their lights on the front porch, and that was our sign to go
That
home.
was the
Yep.
signal.
Yep.
Once the lights came on, you had to head home.
Ours was the street light, so you'd look out and see kids but you had to time it right, because you couldn't come home early either. That was a no. You had to come home at exactly the designated moment. So you'd see kids just super dramatic, like racing to
Oh,
beat
yeah.
these street lights to the porch. But not anymore. Like, I don't know anybody that just lets their children go out until the street lights come on.
No, my kids are 30 and 31, and I did not let them.
I mean, I did, but I grew up in a really small town in Texas, too. Like, knowing what I know now, I still think that was poor choices. But they weren't my choices.
Is what it is.
It is what I made it.
Yep, we made it.
We made it.
All right.
Episode 1 in the books.
I
That's
think
it.
so. All right. So I think we're good. Anybody got anything else to say?
Yep.
No.
If you need to find us, we have a group on Ravelry called ALTKnits. You can email us at altknits3@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mine is AL Femur.
I'm Lindsay Ann 0613, and it's EYLANDSEYANN.
And I am Tasha_knits. And we'll put all that information in the notes below and on the screen.
That way you can find us.
Yeah.
If you want to. Come and join us. We'll be back probably a couple weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll have some garter marlers done.
And I hope so.
Maybe some socks. Some garter marlers.
It's the right time to finish a double knit sweater in Kentucky. It's
Right.
April.
I know. I thought about that as I was trying it on the other day, and I was like, holy monkeys, I gotta take this off. I'm hot.
Well, mine won't get finished till I get back, so
And that's fine.
no big deal.
No,
But you'll have some finished object.
I will.
You'll have your hat. You'll have something.
Oh, well, I hopefully I'll have another sweater.
Perfect. All right.
or a tea.
Yep.
Ooh, even better.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I guess that's it. See y'all later.
Have a good one.